What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Fuck. I can just drop down. Yeah, I can jump down, right? I can jump down, I think. Okay, that's okay. Snuff it blood. I think it is, yeah. If I die, I die. It's my fault. That was a blunder. I'm less nervous now that I failed that, because now I'm kind of expecting to die also. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. Wait, I'm so stupid. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Yeah, I mean, it's over. Never happened. Never happened. Never happened. That's never happened. That's never fucking happened. I've never missed that. No, I'm actually like so mad about that. What? I'm dead. Yep. I was shaking too hard. I was too nervous. GG. I'm too. It's so hard to not be nervous here, man. Fuck. At least let us say hi. Maybe if you behave. You guys were begging for her. I guess she's here. This one. Alright, 2 months and 100 hours of grinding later, we finally did it. This is Night of Doom, the perfect run. My new hardest star by a lot. And yeah, this is one of the craziest things I've ever done in Super Mario 64. What's up everyone, this is Andrew. And yeah, welcome, Night of Doom, the perfect run. This star took up a large portion of my life for, as I said, 2 months. There's a lot to talk about with this star, but we definitely have the time because it's a long one. Sit down, get comfy, grab a good snack. I recommend popcorn. I'm a big popcorn guy. And popcorn's pretty good, you know, because it's pretty much just movie length for this video. Yeah, Night of Doom Perfect Run is a Super Mario 64 Kaizo hack by my good friend Stan SM64, the Night of Doom goat, the legend. And essentially what this hack is 10 Night of Doom levels in a row. Kind of buffed, but like in some ways, buffed in some ways, nerfed in some ways. But basically you're just doing most of the paths in most of these levels. It's all 10 of them in a row with 1 health, and obviously you can't die. So that obviously leads to a pretty big endurance challenge. Yeah, this is definitely the longest star I've ever done. And yeah, the hardest by a lot. So to get started, we're in course 5 right now, which is called Blue Nightmare Sky, I believe. In the original Night of Doom, it's Night of Doom course 5. This is honestly, like especially this windy path right here, which is usually like the hardest part in the original Night of Doom. It's way easier here, and most of this level is just like not that bad. The addition of parallel cam definitely helps with making course 5 just not as bad as it was in the original Night of Doom. Most other sections are definitely like nerfed or like made a lot harder. This section just didn't really feel that bad to me, which was nice because I was able to get past it pretty often. This wasn't the biggest roadblock. It's definitely got some nice music as well. Overall, just a pretty cool section. Yeah, I should probably also mention my girlfriend's there. Yeah, she just kind of like walked in halfway through the stream after I got a pretty big choke, and we just kind of chilled. I wasn't expecting to get any big attempts, but here we are. I suppose this is it. I just definitely was not expecting to get this attempt. a lot of wacky shit happens. Let's start. Let's go with that. Let's just call it that. Coming up to the end of the section right here. Yeah, this is just not that much. All like the hard parts of Night of Doom Course 5 are just like not really present here. Like Piano Cave isn't here for some reason, and yeah, it's just a lot. So now Course 7, this is where it starts to get a little silly. Basically, yeah. So this part was in the original Night of Doom. The like platforming under flowers, quicksand under flower stuff that just makes your camera just awful. I really hated this section. I'm not a big Course 7 fan of Night of Doom, just in general. So yeah, this was not super fun. But this is actually, it definitely used it in some interesting ways, because in the original Night of Doom, you usually just use the wing cap to cheese everything, but there's no wing cap in this version, so you actually do have to go through all the paths. OP, by the way. You do actually have to go through all the paths without cheese, which was definitely an interesting experience to like learn all these paths, because I hadn't done it. I've played Night of Doom twice. I beat Night of Doom 1.0 back in 2018 or so. A couple of years ago I did 1.2 as well, and I beat Night of Doom Green Comet, so I definitely have a lot of Night of Doom experience. And then coupled with this, so yeah. One may say I'm obsessed. I don't even like Night of Doom that much. I don't know why. Anyways. Yeah, we're coming to this section right here. So, again, this is just stuff you normally just skip with the wing cap, but we're not doing that. This enemy here kind of shows one thing about the star. This whole section in general kind of shows it, but there is a lot of patience and a lot of waiting for cycles and stuff like that. You need to have with a star this long, you need to have a plan for every jump. Just literally everything. You just need to like have some kind of setup or just some kind of like approach, because like, especially in the later parts, which we'll see, but yeah, if you just like don't have a plan for like one jump, then it's over, and an hour of your life's wasted. Yeah, my completion of this was like an hour 15, an hour 20 or something like that. I don't actually remember, but yeah, I did actually play kind of slow, generally speaking. If you look at Pluto's clear, which she was the first person to clear this, shouts Pluto. I was the second. If you look at her clear, it's about 50-55 minutes. Mine is a lot longer. Most of that is just because I'm not used to these kinds of stars, endurance in general, but also just like stars this hard. My previous hardest star was Glory Hole, obviously, which was like 7-8 minute precision star. So this was very much out of my comfort zone, but I felt like if I was going to venture into anything else harder, like harder Kaizo stuff, I did need to get better at endurance. So I decided to do the star, which is just exclusively endurance, essentially. I say exclusively endurance because it's just, there's not a ton of like crazy hard jumps in this. It is just, it like in essence, it is just Night of Doom levels. But it's just, it's so long, and I just wasn't used to it, so it did take a while, obviously, and yeah. I am definitely more of a precision player, I would say, but this definitely helps, so hopefully I can challenge more endurance stars later on in my Kaizo career. I don't think I'll be grinding for anything harder than this anytime soon. This took a lot out of me, but I'm very happy to get this. Coming up somewhat near the end of the Course 7 section right now. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about right here, where you're just kind of waiting for cycles, or a lot of this. Course 7 was one of my least favorite sections of this whole thing. It was just kind of boring, and just a lot of waiting and stuff like that. The quicksand under flowers isn't my thing, really. And then to top it all off, you have the tree section right here, which is actually pretty hard. Like, when I started the grind, it took me a while to like get good at this tree section. I eventually found some better setups and better strats for a lot of these jumps, but it did take me a little bit to get past this. And this is only section 2 out of 10. Technically 11. I have 11 at the bottom, because B2 and Key 2, like in the B2 level, there's also Key 2, so I just counted that as its own section, even though it's, I guess, part of B2. It doesn't matter. Semantics. Comes to the tree here. And we're going to get into probably my favorite section, actually, Bowser's Domain. So Bowser's Old Domain switches it up a little bit. Basically, yeah, so basically, for most of the star, except for a couple of sections, I don't know why I paused there, except for a couple of sections, you just have 1 health, so you can't take any damage. But I guess Stan wanted to put some toxic gas sections into there, so... Let's ignore the chat, by the way. There's a reason I kind of wanted to commentate over this. We had some silly conversations that if you want to see, then you can watch the VOD in the description for the initial commentary. Anyways, but... yeah, so we have toxic gas sections right here, which... this was my favorite section, I think, of the whole star. I just like Bowser's Old Domain. I kind of like the toxic gas element of it. And like after the kind of slow pace and just a bunch of waiting in Course 7, which I wasn't really a fan of, you could actually like have some nice, fun, flowy movement in this section to avoid the toxic gas, which was always really nice. I did like the section. I actually picked this level for one of the Kaizo tournaments, just the perfect run version, which is pretty cool. I think it is just my favorite part of the star. It definitely makes the beginning less tedious. For grinding this, like... So the first 5 sections or so are kind of like the jail. Once you get to Course 15, which is section 6/7, then it starts to really pick up. That's where the star becomes very enjoyable, in my opinion, but also where it becomes super hard. So a lot of the grinds, as Kaizo grinds go, nice and invisible, as Kaizo grinds go, it's just trying to get out of spawn. And the thing about this is that spawn is 25-30 minutes long, so yeah, that made things interesting. Yeah, this is also, I'd say, the easiest section. I think this and Course 5 really weren't that hard. I'm trying to think of what other sections might be easier, but yeah, it's just a very consistently difficult star, I'd say. Night of Doom in general is a very consistently difficult game. There's not a ton of difficulty spikes or whatever. Even late game stuff is like, there are some early game courses that are that difficult. This part was changed. It's usually metal cap. Lob bounces right there, but instead you just wall kick. Sorry, there's so much to talk about. I'm like jumping around a little bit. I apologize if this is a little disjointed in terms of commentary, but yeah, a lot of the designs, you might have seen it a lot with Course 7, where it's pretty much what Stan does with a lot of these levels. It's kind of just a bunch of warps to the beginning of paths, and the entire like section is kind of just doing all those paths in a row, you know what I mean? So you can see that a lot more with Course 7, because it's a very branchy level, a lot of different paths. Where this one, it's kind of a more linear kind of deal. It does depend on the level quite a bit. But yeah, speaking of the branching path right here, we're going into the metal cap section at the bottom, but we don't really do anything with the metal cap. We kind of just fly through it. This part up here is actually pretty cool. You have to we'll see in a second. It's kind of like a little avoidance thing where you just fly through these bullet bills. It's not really super hard. I don't think I ever died here, but it's fun. Yeah, that's Old Domain. Pretty fun section, I'd say. Very much enjoyed it. I'm glad you didn't have to get secrets here or whatever, or anything stupid like in the original mod. That was not fun in Night of Doom. Oh yeah, Course 9, another pretty... Course 9 and Course 7 are the two big kind of difficulty spikes of the first half. Well, I guess B2, but we'll get to B2. It's pretty much easy level, hard level, easy level, hard level. That's how it felt for a lot of the grind. Yeah. We're gonna get into this. I think this is the intended way to do it in Night of Doom. Usually, there's a fly guy that you bounce on to get into this hole right here. But yeah, these boxes are pretty helpful. I guess I can explain my grind a little bit. So I started grinding this in September of 2023. That's pretty much when I started. I grinded that for like kind of the whole month. But near the end, I was starting to lose motivation a little bit near the end of the month. A couple factors as to why I like stopped grinding this for a while. I was losing a little bit of motivation. My controller broke, which kind of sucked, and I really wanted to have time to get used to a new controller, and I didn't want to be going for a new hardest star with a controller that wasn't really broken in yet. But yeah, those are the two big ones. And also, the ROM Hack League was starting, and I wanted to start focusing on the ROM Hack League, which I spent a lot of time on during last fall. As you can see the video of that, a couple videos back, I uploaded that a while ago, of all my runs for that. So yeah, I kind of stopped grinding there for a couple months, and then SRM came, and I kind of just lost track. After SRM in January to February, I started grinding for another month, and that's when I started to really make some progress. This is when I started to get really good attempts, and I got this one. Invisible Floor. Let's talk about Invisible Floor. This is probably like the hardest jump, hardest section of the star, especially when Pluto was doing it. But I found a pretty nice setup where I did like some visual cue lineups and then some D-pads, wait for the heave-ho, and then you just kind of jump towards it. There were some problems with it. Sometimes the heave-ho was like in a bad spot and it pushed me off. Sometimes I got hit by the fire. A lot of times I got hit just trying to get on to the invisible floor from the wall kicks at the beginning, just because that heave-ho was being annoying. This section is really tough. And there's a good reason you don't, that there are skips to do it in the original Night of Doom. You don't see people doing that invisible floor section, aside from Reds. Yeah, I mean, I hated that when I first started grinding this. Once I found a good setup, it was nice. Shouts to Aglab for making hack this so I could use the collision viewer from that. So I could just look at where it was. Funny thing about the collision viewer though is that that was a little scary. Funny thing about the collision viewer is that it crashed the game, so I literally have to like turn on the collision view, like the game crashes, and I could like see the collision for like 1 frame. So it was annoying, but I eventually was able to like get a good view of where the floor was and find a pretty good setup for it. Yeah, kind of in the middle castle section of Course 9. You don't really see much of the outside of Course 9 in this hack, in this little route. But yeah. Let's see. I mean, what was I talking about before? I am jumping around a lot, I do apologize. This section's a little funny. I think I do a little cheese right here, which is, I guess, a pretty obvious cheese, but I think you're just supposed to wait for the blocks to, like, disappear, so you can just jump over them. And then metal cap section right here, where you actually don't die if you fall at this metal cap section, which is nice. But if you do fall, then the warp back makes it so you have to redo a couple jumps, which I feel like is pretty cool for a star like this, where you still get punished for messing up, but it's not just like instant death, lose 20 minutes of your life, you know what I mean? Yeah, near the end of Course 9 right now. Coming into B2, which... First big difficulty spike of the... Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Okay, so I strained pretty badly there, so I guess this demonstrates what I was talking about earlier. I strained pretty badly there, so I wasn't able to quite make it up. But it's okay, you just spawn back here, and you just have to redo this section. Yeah. There was a lot of goofy stuff going on this attempt that I'll explain when we get to it. There are a couple of reasons why the attempt ended up being so long. Yeah, we got it done. That's what matters. It doesn't really matter how clean the attempt is if you get it. So. Oh yeah. So yeah, I started regrinding this like mid-January. That's when I started to get a couple better attempts. Initially, back in September when I started grinding this, my best attempt was to Section 8, which is B3, near the end of that. But after I took a break, came back, then I finally started to get some good attempts. Do I fall again? Okay, no. That looked bad. So, Bowser 2. This is probably one of my least favorite levels in the original Night of Doom. But, one, now you have parallel cam, and two, you don't have to do any of, like, the terrible stuff. So, and you don't have to climb the level, like, 5 times for all the stars. So, that makes it a lot nicer. Still, definitely the first big difficulty spike of the star. This was probably the hardest part of the first half. But yeah. Do some wall kicks here. Did take me a while to get past B2 in general at first. Mostly pretty standard level layout. I think it does pretty much just go through the intended path of the level. A lot of people, you'll see later, a lot of people just long jump down to skip a lot of the intended path, but that's not possible in this version, so you have to do intended, which I had never done before. And it's not that bad a path. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a lot harder, but yeah, I didn't hate it. A lot of waiting, actually, in that section. And normally you have a lot more health, so you have to make some adjustments. Right here, I just kind of wait for the metal cap to get a good cycle on it. My girlfriend just showing me stuff. we were just talking. We really were just yapping the entire attempt, and I think that did help me with my nerves a lot. When I didn't have anyone else in the room, it was kind of just me and my thoughts of like, wow, if I die, I lose an hour of my life. Like near the end of this, I was like still really nervous, but like I think having someone to bounce off of was pretty helpful in the long run. I definitely won't have that for every star. She just kind of like walked in. But yeah, it was nice to share the moment, I suppose. Oh yeah, right now we're talking about like just people who have just really stupid names. Like there really should just be more laws so you don't name your child stupid shit. Anyways, if you want to hear more of that conversation, you can watch the original VOD. There's definitely a reason why I want to commentate over this, even though it took me a month to get to the commentary because this is an hour long and it was quite a daunting task. I might put a clip on the screen right here, but there was a really funny death there, where the Lakitu flew under the platform right there, and I was like trying to figure out what to do, so I stood on top of the platform. That clipped through the platform and hit me, and I died. It was like, what is that? There were a couple pretty unfair deaths. Maybe I'll put them at the end of the video. I don't know. We'll see what I do. Right there. I do a kind of a little setup right there to kill the Lakitu, because if a Lakitu goes over lava, or like a lot of enemies actually, if they go over lava, it actually just dies. It's like I don't really know why it does that, but yeah, it works. This is the intended section I was talking about earlier. A lot of cycle-based stuff. A lot of just waiting. And a lot of my attempts died here, because it is hard. There are a lot of pretty precise jumps here. Excuse me, sorry. There are a lot of pretty precise jumps. Just waiting for the Lakitu right here. Yeah, for example, it's a lot of just waiting for enemies. It's a very patience-based star in general, I'd say. Use the snufflet there, do a little bounce. You have to make sure you go there on like a good cycle. And sometimes I even did, and I just like... I think on the day I got this, I literally died twice to the snufflet because I just wasn't timing it right, or like wasn't... I don't know what was happening this day. This was after like a 6-hour session of attempts, so I'm... a lot... when I got this star, like this attempt, it was kind of during a session of like just one more copium, you know what I mean? Like... wasn't actually expecting to get anything, but I was just kind of doing attempts for fun, you know, seeing whatever happens. And yeah, it just happened. I wasn't expecting it. Especially since I had a pretty bad choke earlier in the day. I guess I should say, at the beginning I did do a little montage of the chokes I had. First one was pretty early, like, from when I came back. It was my first attempt past Section 8, and I got to the end of Section 12, which was pretty insane. The nerves were kind of, like, off the charts there, so... And the jump I died to, I was under-practiced at. I literally just did the wrong strat. I was supposed to double jump and I triple jumped, so... That explained that choke a little bit. Was a bit ridiculous, but, you know... It was very nice and motivating to get an attempt that far. Then after that, for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I just got nothing. Like, I got some attempts. I had one attempt died at course 11. Let's see. I had a lot of attempts died at B3 and course 15, because that's the hardest section of the star that we'll get into pretty soon. And yeah, for a lot of that, I just didn't get any good attempts. Then one night, I just randomly got a good attempt, but it died to the dumbest way possible. that was the second death in the montage. It really was just a ridiculous death. Like, I still don't know how that didn't work. It's just like, it's a very simple jump. It really shouldn't. Whatever. I got it. I was a little mad at the time. And then the third one was earlier in this day. It was, too, a genuinely hard jump. I mean, doing that jump under nerves, it's like super precise, super hard. You kind of have to manipulate the cycles a little bit for these two fire spitters. for this entire attempt, CB is telling me to lock in. I just can't because it was very hard to take this attempt seriously, especially with my girlfriend there. It was a little ridiculous. But yeah, it kept the nerves down, which is nice. I think if I focused too hard, I would have gotten more nervous and then choked. I still gotta get better at controlling my nerves for long stars like this, but comes with practice, for sure. Coming near the end of the B2 section, right here. Pretty long section, the longest one so far, I'm pretty sure. But things just get longer. We're coming near the end of the first half, in general. I personally for initial practice, I split the star into first half and second half. And the second half is honestly much harder than the first. This is a pretty, I don't want to say backloaded star, I'd say more mid-loaded than anything. Because sections 8 and 9, which are, or at 7 and 8, which are course 15 and B3, are the two hardest by far. And just getting past those is ridiculous. And then courses 10 and 11 are, well, course 10 is still hard, but I only died once to it. Course 11 is kind of just don't choke. And then course 12, the final section, is hard for sure. But a lot of the last three is kind of just don't choke, which is difficult. Yeah, very mid-loaded star, I'd say. By the end, I was getting a lot of attempts to course 15 and B3. Yeah, anyways, this is key 2. This is, again, I count it as its own section, but it's technically part of B2. This was, you can't do a lot of the original strats you do in Night of Doom, just because of the 1 health, so there's a lot of just, you have to take the slide slow, for example, and then this part's a little bit different from the original. It's just a couple box jumps. And this hack actually adds a completely new section at the end that we'll get into. But yeah. As I said, shout out to Stan for making this hack and Crash for helping out, I believe. Maybe Focus was involved? I don't remember. I think it was just Stan and Crash. And shout out to Asbeth for making the soundtrack, because if I was listening to original Night of Doom music the entire time, I feel like I would have gone insane. So shout out to Asbeth for making actually really, really good ports that fit the levels, surprisingly enough, and also are just absolute bangers. As Red Slim says there. It is a banger. This is kind of the custom section right here. I think the top of this little tower right here was in the original Nod, but it was just unused for some reason. I don't know. This fight's weird, and it's one of my favorite parts of Nod, honestly. I just kind of like the fight. I think it's pretty creative and cool. But, yeah. It is definitely an odd fight. I recently did a tier list with King Toad for ranking every star in Night of Doom. I should probably upload this to YouTube. I'll do that at some point. Or ranking every star in Night of Doom, and I just couldn't say many nice things about a lot of stars. I like a lot of the levels in Night of Doom, but I don't like the stars, if that makes sense. I have a weird relationship with this hack. Yeah, I think this right here, these bullies and boxes part, was in the original Knot. I think it was there already, but it was never used. It's a little weird. So I guess you add this little section here. And yeah, this looks harder than it actually is. It really is just do a couple jumps. I only died in Key 2 once, somehow. It was near the end of the grind, which was pretty cool, because it's not an easy section. Alright, coming into Course 15, this is what I'd consider the halfway point of the star. It was a pretty big accomplishment when I first grinded this, to get to this part. And if you know anything about Night of Doom Course 15, it's that it's very front-loaded, spawn is very hard. And normally that's not an issue in Night of Doom, because it's just like, okay, sure, I'll just spam attempts until I get past spawn. No, this is after 30 minutes. Like, you gotta just do spawn after 30 minutes. Like, get a pretty much required second or third frame there. I've had a couple attempts die to that jump in particular, because it's, yeah. Beginning of Night of Doom Course 15 is quite something. Discolored madness, woo! So CB and I had a little joke whenever we got to this section, because the song in this level is Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS. So we just had a little joke going where everyone was doing a Mario Kart race in chat. That was fun. Took my mind off the fact that this is either the hardest or the second hardest level. This and B3 are pretty much neck and neck for the two hardest, and they're back to back, and they're also the longest. So, yeah, this is more of the same, like having you go through every section of the level, but it is one of the hardest levels in the game. I'd say this is the hardest in Night of Doom. This or Course 12. I think this is, generally speaking, harder. Yeah, right here is ridiculous. I had to have, like, perfect setups for pretty much all these jumps right here. And if I missed it, then the HEFO cycles were off and it was pretty much over. Like, sometimes I just messed up the cycles. Yeah, this was tough. This was very hard to get consistent with. I should describe my practice method, I suppose. So, I pretty much decided to go for the start because I wanted to play Perfect Run Light at first, because like, oh, Light looks pretty fun. I've been meaning to play it. So I played it, and pretty much Perfect Run Light is, you do all this, they have checkpoints between the sections, so you do have, like, little breaks. And even with checkpoints between the sections, like, the Course 15, B3, some of these sections are still really, really hard, so... In that sense, it was like, wow, the idea of doing the full thing is pretty overwhelming. That jump is crazy precise. Yeah, the idea of doing it all in one go was pretty overwhelming, but also I had some pretty good consistency with a lot of the sections. There were only like a couple very problematic ones. So I decided, you know what, screw it, let's just do the full thing. And yeah, 2 months later, 100 hours practice plus attempts. My practice method was mostly just starting with individual sections, just trying to clear individual sections. And once I did that, it's just pretty much how I would approach any hard star like this, is just split them into smaller sections once you gain consistency, make the sections bigger, and just keep doing segment practice, going smaller and smaller. Until eventually, at the end, I had a full second half attempt. And you can see the 2 segment on my second channel, which I'll link in the description, but that was from a while back. That was from before I kind of stopped grind for a bit. But yeah. Segment practice, I think, is the best way to do stars like this. I mostly did no real like cheeses or skips, because there's a lot of like skips and cheeses that you can do in this hack. This was the only like minor one right there. Like the jumps that I was skipping weren't even really that bad. It kind of just like, this is a cool little skip, so I might just do it. Just thought it would be a little funny. But for the most part, I tried to do most sections pretty much intended. Like, let's see, there's big skips to skip most of the level in Course 7 and Course 9. I think there's a big skip here. A lot of them are pretty hard, though. So, I mean, I didn't mind trying to do them all intended. Yeah, this part right here inside the castle. Definitely some more waiting for enemies. But we're coming up to one jump, which I consider one of the hardest in the star. Took me a while to get some like really good consistency with. When I say consistency in the star, it's like you need to be 99.9% consistent with most jumps before starting attempts. Like there wasn't really much wiggle room. I kind of just had to be good at every jump. This is the jump I was talking about right here, where I have a pretty good setup for it. Where like I had a spot visually where I would like change the camera and stuff like that, and then this long jump was pretty much the same every time. Like yeah, once I like, it was kind of just holding up the entire time. But yeah, I think I did have a death or two to that one. In segment practice, I had a lot of deaths to it, but I think in attempts I didn't really have so many. But yeah, there's this little skip right here. I think it's a skip. I'm not sure. At the Star 1 section of Course 15 right now. And, yeah. I'm trying to think of things to talk about. This is such a long start. It's so hard to have stuff to talk about for the entire thing. Yeah, I kind of have to manipulate this Heave-Ho right there, while also I'm kind of juggling the Fire Spitter. I think I did have a death or two around this part. Oh, okay, here we go. So normally you're supposed to just ledge grab that. I think I got corner physics there, and I just didn't ledge grab, and it was weird. I somehow managed to QSLG that. I think I practiced that back up once or twice, but I wasn't expecting to get it like in an attempt. So this was interesting. You can just QSLG back, which I had to do this attempt. We had a lot of very silly moments like this in the attempt. This was the first real big one. Oh yeah, enjoy the QSLGs. Alright, how's everyone doing tonight? Nice weather, no? How about that stock market? You guys like Mario? Yeah. Not a QSLG guy. I don't think there are many QSLG fans out there. Shouts to Chris for saying, like, hey, you should stop. Like, what? Like, you should just restart the attempt. And I was like, no. But, like, what if I can save it? And then I just save it. This Fire Spitter here I thought was going to be a big issue. Yeah, I was able to make it pretty convincingly, which is nice. Yeah, so let's do that section again. Woo! That was very silly. I'm very surprised I was able to save that. I was able to like react and land on and be able to QSLG that. I was kind of like going for that save like as a meme. Like I didn't even think my height was like good enough to ledge grab that, but it worked out. So that was nice. But yeah, let's just do this section again. Why not? For funsies. This is kind of what I was talking about here. You need to like get the Heave-Ho in a good position so you can get the triple jump off. I don't think the switch was here in the original nod. I think it like there was a box underneath this slope up here. Which is not what you have to do for this. I do like how this hack was able to kind of reinvent Night of Doom levels and just get some more mileage out of them, just from a, you know, toadstool edit, really, quad edit. Up here, this kind of climb the tower section. Definitely a lot harder with 1 HP, I'd say. You do have to keep track of all the Fire Spitters, when normally in the original game you can kind of just damage boost. Oh my goodness, this is a long section. We still got like 2 more warps left here. Like here, for example, we do a little triple jump wall kick to bait the fire. Normally you just ledge grab it, get hit by fire, and just damage boost a little bit. You at the top of the section right here. This ice, it's kind of hard to tell like what's slippery and what's not, so I kind of just tried to have the same setups every time. This one's a little scary. Opie opie. I believe Pluto triple jumped over this swamp, but I found it way more consistent to just double jump under. The thing about thwomps is that they're RNG based, but only when they're in the air. So basically it's RNG how long they take to pound the ground, but it's not RNG how long they take to rise. So I kind of took that to my advantage because Pluto strat I felt was more RNG based because you just had to like get a good like you had to like kind of rely on the RNG to see if he was gonna pound down at that time. But since the rising was pretty consistent, I was able to figure out that strat, which was nice. Yeah, final section of this coming up. I think I did have a couple deaths on this roof right here. Most of them were pretty silly, but there is one actually pretty hard section. At the top, getting into the tower was tough. It was certainly tough. I did have one death pretty close to the end of the grind. It's kind of ridiculous here. Where like I landed around here, but I guess I landed on the wrong triangle or whatever, and I just slid off. Literally just slid off the roof. And yeah, this part right here, a lot of factors go into this. This is the strat I found the most consistent, where you sledge grab here, QSLG as it's going off. You have to hit like a really small part of the switch right there. Then just run into the corner, get enough speed. And yeah, and just about have enough time for this. It was nice that you could long jump that one, so you don't have to really worry about the fire spitter. And yeah, B3 time. Alright, here is Bowser 3. This is what I think is probably the hardest section of the entire thing. There's just so much to deal with here. Yeah. So, this is another case of you don't really do the intended way in the original game because there's so much cheese, but in this you certainly do the intended way. You do most intended ways of like every section of just very fun. Woo! Try to get a pretty good angle here. Shouts to Goomba Gaming coming up. I wonder if it's possible to get Goomba Gaming in this fire. In this hack. Who knows? Sombro asking what I'm thinking right now. How did I put up with this? This star's an hour long. How do people do stars this long? My answer is I don't know. I just kind of played. I don't think he was referring to this star. I think he was referring to something else, but besides the point. Yeah, I mean, doing stars this long was certainly tiring. At some point during attempts, when you're getting a lot of like good attempts, you just kind of lose track of time. You kind of forget. You have to just clear your mind and forget that like, wow, I started this attempt 40 minutes ago. It's like you just kind of play in the game like normal. At some point, it definitely helps like be properly practiced with a lot of this stuff, and just be prepared for every jump. But the length, at the first, the length was like getting to me. But once I started getting more and more attempts going, the length like stopped kind of getting to me. And I could just kind of focus on the gameplay and just in the moment kind of decision making. Yeah, a lot of patience stuff right here. So the reason we do come up here is because there is a cannon bomb at the end of this Koopa race path. And one funny thing about this hack is what you can do. I mean, this is like technically legal. Like you could do an attempt with this. I'm pretty sure. I didn't do it because it was lame. But you could like do an attempt of the star, get all the way to this part, and open the cannon here, and then just die. And then the cannon's opened at that point, so you can start another attempt and the cannon will be opened, even though it's like 40 minutes in at this point. So I didn't find that to be particularly worth it, or like I felt like it would kind of not ruin the experience, but I kind of want to do most of the star cheeseless. So even though it would have saved a good 3 minutes of coming up here to open the cannon. Yeah. And opened, and now we're back here. I remember my first attempt getting to B3. It died right here because this amp, it was the most BS death ever. The amp just followed me here. It never did that. Not in any other attempt or not in any practice. There was just that one outlier attempt where the amp followed me right there and just at me. Like, I was pretty mad at that one. I think I went off on Stan. Like, why would you put homing amps in a star like this with 1 health 40 minutes in? Homing amps are the worst enemy in Mario 64. They're very unpredictable. A lot of like bad enemies that people don't like are predictable. Like you can kind of figure out what they're doing. Homing amps, there's no idea. No one knows what's going on with homing amps. It's just they'll charge you if they want. Who knows? I'm pretty sure like it was either Kaze or Shine who looked at the homing amp source code and they just had no idea what was going on. It's just that's what the homing amps that's how they act. I mean, you gotta deal with it. Woo, yeah, homing amps, love them. Anyways, yeah, some pretty precise triple jumps right here. I think I had 2 or 3 attempts to these jumps. That's why I paused for them quite a bit. This one in particular, very, very precise. I think you just have to get really good triple jumps. Well, also, I'm keeping track of this fire spitter. I think that was a little sketch right there. That right there, maybe, I think that was like the last frame I could have jumped. I delayed my triple jump very much there. I think that was, if I was a frame later, I would have been dead. It's a little ridiculous. I tried not to pause buffer like too much in the star, but there are some parts where I just really felt like I had to. I had to go like 100% consistency, like go as consistent as possible. And sometimes pausing just really helps with that. Yeah, a lot of bend section right here. As I said, a lot of this is like stuff you would just normally skip with the wing cap in the original nod. What was I doing? Anyways. Who knows what we were talking about right here? You can know by watching the original recording if you want. And be sure to follow me on Twitch. That'd be nice. Anyways. CB really telling me to log in, yeah. I mean, I really should have been. But I think the distractions help. This is a lot of the attempt too, just kind of chilling. Especially near the end, I did take a lot more little breaks. I think it depends on the player whether those help or not. I've heard Pluto say that like taking breaks just kind of makes her more nervous. I feel like it depends for me. Sometimes taking a little break is nice because like physically like I'm shaking. I know Amp6, for example, he does like sometimes when he's super nervous, he'll just like go out and stand up, do a couple push-ups, get the nerves out. That's why he's the GOAT. Man never stops the grind. Anyways. Yeah, now we're getting... So this is the stuff that's really, affected by not having the wing cap. These jumps are precise. I don't think I actually ever died to these, despite the fact that, like, I mean, look at them. Look how small these platforms are. Like these parts, at least. My goodness. Maybe I did have one death. I don't remember. As I said, this was a month ago. This was a daunting thing to commentate. That jump was always really scary. Even Sombro joining on the lock-in trade. Really should. You have to kill this Chuck, yeah. You might remember in the original nods where you do like a little strat to have the Chuck drop from the top because the collision here is a little silly. But yeah, you just gotta kill him. Otherwise, you are screwed. Yeah, another really precise part. I didn't have any experience of doing this path in... Maybe I did it in Night of Doom Green Comet, but in the other two, like in the original version of Nod and 1.2, you just never do this path. There's too many cheeses. But I actually do remember doing this path, at least with save states, in Insanity Cauldron, which I don't know if anyone's heard of that hack. I didn't upload it because it's terrible. But basically, there's a level that's literally just somehow, for some reason, downscaled Night of Doom V3, which is like interesting. So it was like this section, but downscaled. That was something. This part right here, again, more precise than it looks, but you do have to ledge grab the right parts, because sometimes the platforms are so thin that like you'll ledge grab and then just down warp and die, which was silly. For example, I do a slow ledge grab there because even if you're on those parts where like it's too thin to do a quick ledge grab, you can do a slow ledge grab and you'll have a chance to like do a kind of QSLG-esque motion. Oh, yeah, here is something silly. So we go in here. Normally you can just lava boost and you don't really need the vanish cap for this. You go in here. This is normally a pretty hard jump right here, which I died to once or twice. I did that. I just slipped. And I didn't have enough time for the box timer, so we have to go back. This was another one of those silly things that happened this attempt. So we're gonna do that section again. Woo! If you want a cleaner attempt, I'd watch Pluto's. It's better. Steal our water real quick, you know. How much more of this stupid-ass star is there? Anyways. I was considering not commentating this, but the conversations we had were just, like, probably not good for YouTube. So, just not gonna put those. Especially near the beginning. Yeah, anyways. Back doing this section again. I should mention, these little crawls, like, doing, like, crawls with, like, a small stick magnitude, so you, like, don't move. They're, like, very OP for stars like this, where you'll have a bunch of nerfs at this point. Because, like, sometimes I felt like I would want to do, like, a quick turn, but I would be so nervous that, like, I try to do the little quick turn, but I just hold the direction, like, a little too long, and I just walk off. So, yeah. Those, for stars like this, where you're going to be getting super nervous, I don't like those. So what I figured out, like, crawling with like a small stick magnitude, doing that even for like a couple frames, like, won't give you any distance. I use that quite a bit near the end of the star. Yeah, back here. This looks familiar. Yeah, I believe I only failed it once, so it's fine. So yeah, go back into the house. Sombro's so real for this. And yeah, here is the jump. I did die to it once. That I think twice even. It's just a really, really precise jump. Can you pause this, Sombro? How's everyone doing? Is everyone out of their first bag of popcorn? Then I don't know, get a second bag of popcorn, because we're still going to be here a little bit. We're coming near the home stretch now. As I said, Course 15 and B3 are the two longest and two hardest sections. Once you get past it, the attempt's like finally real. There's a little server where we did like pace pings whenever someone was on a good Pazzo attempt, and I told people don't do that unless I'm past B3. Yeah, but at this point, like, I had gotten a couple attempts past B3, so I was like, okay, do it past Course 10, because I recently had my first Course 10 death. So I was like, okay, well, now. I knew Course 10 was hard. Like, Course 10 is undoubtedly very hard. I just never had issues with it. I never died to an attempt, and it usually didn't cause that many problems in practice, which was nice. Right here, you have to be really careful. That, like, barely makes it. I did a triple jump, like, from really close by to keep the Chucky locked in. Because if you go too far back, then Chucky just moves around a ton, and there's not really much you can do. Yeah, coming up near the end of B3. This is all just the intended path of B3. It's pretty crazy level. I found this jump right here to be the easiest way to get this. You could just like go down, like do some wall kicks and stuff like that, but using the corner physics there, you can kind of just, or the 45 degree, I guess. You can kind of just jump down and kick, and that never really caused any issues. Even if you accidentally dive right there, I think you can still make it. But you shouldn't do that, because it's scary. I have to be, for this I have to be on the very edge of that platform right there to not alert the HEFO. Do a little backflip wall kick right here. Probably didn't need to do that. That was interesting. I don't know why that was way tighter than it should be. That's not a hard jump or anything. And here we are. This is the arch. This is where my initial PB back in September died. This was my furthest. This is my PB for a long time. Just this arch. It's a hard jump. I mean, there's not really much to say. It's very tight. It's much easier with parallel cam, but it's just a tight arch with the HEFO on top of it. You need the HEFO to be at a good spot, and also you can't ledge grab the arch, so that creates a lot of issues. Okay, I did get it pretty quickly in this attempt. I do pause buffer a lot just to be sure. Full, tap, full. Cool. Near the ends. I think I died. I think in my initial nod playthrough, I died like around there for some reason after all the hard jumps, which was funny. Alright, home stretch. Here is course 10. So this one, we go through two sections, technically three, I guess, of this level, which is the red tower, the green tower, and the blue tower. Blue tower is nothing, and then red tower is not crazy hard either. It's green tower that's the big issue here. That's where my one death of this stage happens. I guess this part right here is a little scary. That strat right there to just kind of dive into the into the snuff. It looks reckless, but I never died to it in practice or attempts. And I couldn't really find anything better, so that works, I suppose. It was nice because I was usually able to get both coins, which is very helpful. It's good to have coins here, especially. Yeah, you'll see that. This is another one of the toxic gas sections. The green tower is toxic gas, which will come later. But it definitely helps for this section as well to like have the little safety net. Get the Hevo, get the bully stuck there a little bit. Man's just chilling. People just begging me to lock in. It's hard. Take a second here to refresh the metal cap. But yeah, normally getting here is a lot of nerves. This attempt, the nerves didn't really come in until course 12. Usually it's like, wow, I really start to get nervous after B3. Because not a lot of attempts get past B3. B3 is quite the roadblock. You gotta make sure to get that vanish cap pretty fast, or else... Because if you fall here, then it's nice to have the metal cap as like a little safety layer, so you can maybe save it. I never fell here in any attempts. I think my first attempt to course 12, I literally just forgot to grab the to grab the vanish cap fast, but it didn't punish me, luckily. Yeah, right here, toxic gas. Woo! Green tower. This is probably like, I mean, it's one of the hardest sections of the star for sure, but again, I only died once here, so, which was really nice. There was some silly stuff in this attempt, though. For example, the RNG here is not great, so it is losing me a bit of time. But that Scuttlebug is pretty close. But right now, it's not too bad. It's not looking crazy dire. I took that pretty fast. We make it to these coins fast enough, so I'm still up 8. We're looking good. Issues. Oh, yeah, so this was kind of slow right there. I just kind of second guess myself, which you shouldn't be doing here. And then I get bad RNG here, so now it's looking bad. I grabbed these coins like a frame or two away from dying. Like, I was very, very close to just running out of health there. That was a little silly. That did happen in a previous attempt, and also that jump was pretty tight as well. This right here, this triple jump, one of the hardest jumps of the star. Again, I paused my hurt a bunch. I almost shorted it. Yeah, as Chris says, that was a frame or two from dying. That triple jump was the best I could find for that. I know a lot of people QSLG, but I could never get that. I'm good. And yeah, once you get to this hard, you're kind of safe, for the most part. You say everything before that triple jump. That makes Green Tower as scary as it is. Yeah, just taking a little break because that was a bit of a scary TPR. Did I say TPR? I meant Green Tower. I'm tired. This is a long commentary. Backflip wall kick, couple wall kicks here. Yeah, should be good. Do a little triple jump dive there. And yeah, blue tower. There's a little Easter egg down there if you actually go into blue tower. If you manage to swim all the way to the bottom, then there's a little heart made of coins. But if you fall in, there's also a box with a warp, so you can just go back, which is nice. It would have been really easy to just make that an instant death, because like if you die of that, it's pretty embarrassing, honestly. that... Okay, so now, course 11. That Lactu was not very nice. Not at all, actually. But we made it work. Yeah, this section is only nerves. That's it. Like, there's not that much heart in course 11. It really is just the calm before the storm, but also you're not calm because you've been playing for an hour and you're really nervous. So, yeah. I guess I had technically 5 attempts to this section. 4 of them got past it, and then I had 1 death that we'll get to. It was a really silly death. It really shouldn't have happened, but, you know, it's all good. So letters, shouts to Dolph. Yeah, of course, shouts to Pluto for definitely inspiring me to do the star. I was in the call with her when she was grinding it and fluked the star hard because she's insane. Yeah. I got something silly coming up. I think I paused here because she said something like incredibly stupid, and I was like, what the fuck did you just say? This right here was something. I don't know why I did that. Don't question that one. You know, we're gonna not question that. I don't know why I did that. This is where the death was. I literally just missed this triple jump. Again, just silly. It's hard to avoid silly mistakes. I don't know how a lot of players just don't have stupid deaths like I do. But, you know. A stupid death is a I don't know, some saying. A stupid death is to one man stupid, to many other men smart. Put that on your wall. Move over live, laugh, love signs. Put that one. Anyways. There was some pretty big invis walls over here, but I had some pretty nice strats to avoid them, which is good. And yeah, as I said, not too terribly difficult of a section. I guess discussing this star's difficulty in general. I know the list and all, but this is apparently from all the raids, this is the 9th hardest. So top 10 is really nice, despite how silly the list is. Really, it is cool to have something that high, have a tier 9 as they say back in high school, you know. Yeah, it's nice to jump from, I guess I had a tier 7, maybe like low tier 7 or whatever, and then jump to a tier 9. I mean, yeah. I don't have a lot of stars like this hard, but the stars I do, I feel like I am able to like grind pretty hard and jump. Because back in 2017, my hardest star was Treasure World B3 Reds, and I just jumped to TD Reds. Like that was a pretty ridiculous jump. You know, but... And then from TD to Glory Hole wasn't that crazy, even though that was the first clear of that star. And then from Glory Hole to this is just a whole nother world. Like, grinding a star like this is just... It's insane. Yeah, I still do say I prefer precision stars. I'd like precision, just generally speaking. I think it's pretty fun. There's Stan the goat. Shouts to the legend once again for making this hack. Yeah, just grinding a star like this is really something. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, I still do prefer precision stars, and if I go for stars higher than this, they'll probably be more precision based. But I do feel like I got some good experience from the star, and I will definitely consider doing more long stars in the future. I think a good balance is nice. I think a super precise star, but is like 20-30 minutes long, is perfect. If you're going for this difficulty, I think it just works. If I were to go for stars harder than this, I plan to play SNR at some point, which has Divine Sentence Reds, which is harder. What else? I think Big Gold Mines, maybe Jonk's Junk, 100 coins. I'd definitely consider going for that at some point. It looks like the most fun star in the top 10. But I love Jonk's Junk. It's a really, really great hack. And I should go for more stars in it at some point. And I really don't see why I should stop at Glory Hole. Maybe I'll do more stars. That's for another day. Let's see. I mean, maybe stuff in, I've been playing Lost Lunatic Trials recently. Stuff in Final Destination seems fun. Very precision-based, but very cool and flashy. Very pause buffer heavy, though. You know, pause buffering aside. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably go for harder stuff than this, but I do feel like I need a break from big grinds like this. Maybe I'll play more casual Kaizo stuff. And yeah, coming into the final stretch. Course 12. Alright, here we are. Course 12, final section. Yeah, you gotta kill that guy like instantly. That's why you gotta enter with Mario Ken. Yeah, so, I mean, nerves are sky high at this point. It's not an easy section. It's definitely, it does not end easy. Course 12 Reds is probably one of the hardest stars in the original nod, so... Kappa. Yeah, it's one of the hardest stars in the original nod, so... Yeah, I put all my chokes in this section at the beginning of the video. Just to show, like, yeah, it was pretty hard. I do stop quite a few times just because nerves. Just trying to stay somewhat focused, maybe a little bit, despite the chicanery going on. That was pretty good. Those fire hitboxes are a lot smaller than they look, which is nice. Yeah, just a lot of scary stuff near the end. My second attempt that I got here died to that previous jump, just shorting it somehow. And then my third attempt that got here earlier in the day died to these upcoming jumps, because they are, yeah, they're super precise, especially under pressure. It's like, oh my goodness. And again, this is all stuff that is cheesed with the wing cap in the original nod. I think from nod, Kaizo creators realized, wow, you can cheese a lot with the wing cap. Let's not put that. Let's not put that in our hex, ideally. Yeah, there's just so many wing cap cheeses in this game. These are just, wow, crazy precise, especially for the ends. Kind of sketch. And then I backflip this because there's some back collision on that ledge right there. Once you're past that, it's pretty real, honestly. Those are the last, like, crazy hard jumps left. That is the hard part. Yeah, I'll stuff the wing cap cheese. This part you don't do in the original. Like, rarely ever. People are saying close chat, and Kaze says close wife. That's true. And the other attempt I closed chat, and this one I just didn't care. At this point, like, if I closed chat, like, I was already distracted. It was like, whatever. Maybe, I was like, maybe it'll be better to close chat, to not close chat. It's closing chat, does bring my nerves up a little bit. Makes it more real. I don't know. I don't have any, like, test cases to prove that or whatever, but, you know. We'll see if I do more hard stars like this. If closing chat's the play or not. I usually just don't, so... Yeah, kept my nerves a little more calmed. Yeah, lots of pretty precise jumps. That one's a little tough. I do set up my camera right here pretty much because as soon as you jump on this quicksand part, a bunch of amps spawn and you want to like get out of there fast. Yeah, like right there. And I think there's another one that spawns up here. Yeah. You gotta like do the landing quick and then just start moving, start booking it. Alright, first warp. I found the strat like pretty recently before I started, before this attempt. Where, come on man, just move. You gotta move. Yeah, it took a lot of breaks near the end. Yeah, the strat right here, where you can kind of just jump and then just do two long jumps. Initially I was just doing double jumps, which like, either way, there's not a ton of risk, despite how scary it looks. But yeah. And yeah, this right up here is where my first attempt to course 12 died. It really was just a skill issue death. Like, I very much deserved it. I did the wrong strat. But right here I do the right strat. You also might have seen at the beginning of the video, kind of cut out a little, oh yeah, that was sketch. There was something silly at the end of this attempt, which I won't be commentating anymore. I'm gonna cut to the reaction pretty soon. But yeah, you'll see what happens there. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just say for now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, despite the fact that it's so long, and tried to have enough to talk about for the commentary. I don't know how Pluto commentates stars this long, but we'll see. Yeah, hopefully it works out. Yeah, thank you to everyone who helped make the star possible. Pluto for inspiring me. My girlfriend for giving me emotional support. Everyone in my chat who watched and enjoyed, hopefully. Gave me motivation to continue, despite the fact this was quite the grind. And yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I do have more videos planned pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, have a good one.
Hey.
Some water. Some water.
How sweaty are your hands?
Very.
Do I want to feel? Oh.
No, don't touch them.
Sorry. Can you guys hear Andrew breathing like really loudly? Well, they're saying Andrew breathing ASMR.
Final sign. Heart is pounding. Breathing is harder. Whole body shaking. Nerves out of control. Feeling like fainting. It's all or nothing now. If you die here, don't worry. You'll be remembered as one of the only ones who got this far in their journey through this insanity. That's an evil sign.
You're like, fuck you then.
Last jumps.
Does perfect run even include to the bowling? Okay, there. What the fuck was that?
BB was fucking scared, dude.
Most people are scared of like lions, tigers, bears. Here you are going, oh, like a little opera singer over here.
Okay.
You're right, I'm scared.
Okay.
job.
It's not done yet. It's not done. Last jump. Last jump. I'm shaking so fucking hard. I'm shaking so fucking hard.
It's okay.
Okay.
Oh, and off the nail.
Hold forward.
No, don't have me do it.
Fine.
What?
I want to do a 2-player. Okay.
No,
come on.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
No,
You're not.
no. If you lose, it's my fault.
No, it's literally physically impossible to lose at this point. Like,
what do you want me to do?
just hold forward.
Okay.
Hold forward. Ready?
I am.
Ready? Let's go! Yes! Yes! Let's fucking go! Yes! Let's go! We fucking did it! Let's go!
Okay.
Let's fucking go! We did it!
Okay. I would like to say this is my fault because I agreed for you to stream longer. Okay. Are you gonna cry?
Yeah.
Are you crying?
Let's fucking go!
Weren't you the same one that said I've never cried because I won something?
I fucking did it! I fucking did it! I didn't think I was gonna cry.
You're the same one. I would like to say, literally, this weekend he was like, they were talking about they've cried when they won something, or because they lost so bad. I've never done that. Who does that?
I fucking won. I fucking won. I did it.
Good job. You did slam on my foot during
Sorry. I was a little excited.
I have no shoes on.
I was a little excited. You helped. Good job. You did it.
I helped by also allowing you to stream more, because you were like, oh, I can just end it and we can go hang out at your dorm. And I was like,
it's over. I
was like, no, you can keep streaming. It's fine.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have no time for food.
Oh yeah, right. We gotta like go soon. Alright, we're gonna join the VC. They're gonna congratulate us. I fucking did it. Let's go! Let's go! I can't believe I did it.
You did it.
Thank you for your moral support.
How many attempts total was this? I know it was like over
Fucking
32 days.
Thousands,
I
probably.
would have laughed so hard if your girlfriend just pulled
Pulling if you held back. No, I was paused at a spot where she could have pressed anything and it would have been fine. Like, I made sure. Like, I'm pausing at the right fucking frame. I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm not gonna fuck up the moment. I did it. Yes!
What all your roommates are thinking about happening right now.
I fucking did it.
The fucking GG. You are the fucking GOAT.
Oh my
You are
god.
My goat.
Oh my GOAT.
Alright, well now I gotta explore the area. Massive congratulations, no small task, now you can rest here as long as you want, you've earned it. Don't you notice the beauty and peace?
Do you have roommates right now, Andrew?
My roommate's not like in the room, but
No,
like,
but he has his other roommates who are in the other room who are
housemates.
also streaming, so they probably think he like just died.
Yeah.
They're thinking he probably just had like an aneurysm.
Fattest nut.
They're having sex so loud. Let's go.
Andrew, can
Yeah.
you do me a favor?
Who's watching you on his stream?
I fucking did it, man.
Ugly ass toad. Why do they have Gibby's face on it?
It's not Gibby.
It's Gibby.
I have not read any signs.
Gimpy?
Yeah, people make those noises when they fuck.
It is!
I can't not see Gibby in that face now.
It looks like Gibby. I'm not wrong.
Gibby! Okay, this is Black Dude scaring me. Fucking, what are you doing in there, man? What are you doing in there? Oh my god, wait. Why did I do that? I objectively didn't. Alright.
What?
Section 6. Let's see if we can get this. How did I get hit there, dude? What the fuck? What am I doing? Oh my goodness. I just walked so far. What was that, bro? Myself.
How? Why?
I don't know, because I don't like you. It's a joke, I love you. You made me die. You made me die. She threw a Dorito at me and I died. You actually made me die. That's so funny.